Hello everyone, my name is Chance Brunton and welcome back to Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. I'm joined once again by Tyler.
Hello.
We have just completed what I believe is possibly the final puzzle room. It's certainly the final one we can see coming right now. And we are now ready to move on the final true route. If I can figure out how to click this lock with the key.
I think you have to unzoom and rezoom on.
Oh, that's why it's not working. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. The door's lock. It says lock. You guys ready?
All set here.
Go for it. All right. 3, 2, 1.
2.
Excuse me. That's backwards.
3.
Stop that! Jeez. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I kind of hoped he'd do it again, and then Phi would interrupt and be like, "Stop it!
Yeah, or Phi.
They'll never stop at this rate."
Phi says like 0, -1, -2.
Yeah. Achievement unlocked: Escapist and Doctor of Escapology.
It opened.
We should get back to the Flore warehouse then.
Hey, wait. Did you guys hear something?
What?
You didn't hear it? It came from over there. It sounds like something turning on. See? I told you. This screen wasn't on before.
You're right. Guess it was set to turn on when we opened the door.
It looks like an authentication screen. I think we need to put in an ID and a password.
Yeah, but what?
We got this. That was when I noticed the illustration. Wait a minute. It's only got one head.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
Mm-hmm. The lion is eating the sun. The lion is eating the sun? Lion eating the... Memento mori. Remember death. If the 9th lion ate the sun. Yes, there's been lions all throughout.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there has been 8 lions then.
Oh, of course. This was the real 9th lion. But if that was the case, I don't know how he knows which one's which.
Yeah, I guess.
Memento mori. Remember death. Memento mori. Remember death. Yep. Yes, we remember all of the deaths.
I guess if he assumes Zero's plan is complete, then, like...
It's the order we saw them in or something?
Yeah.
The 9th lion would be the last one, whichever the others were.
Yeah, so... So you haven't
really
written down
the
ID, but you do have the password.
Oh, because it's not the same?
Yeah,
I guess it wouldn't be, would it?
Different one.
So this one's Jumpy Doll, maybe?
Yeah, and do you remember what the ID might have been? That I can just tell you if you don't.
Crash keys?
No, because that would be with the Myrmidons, not really separate.
True.
It's from the ID card, just like Jumpy Doll.
Oh, okay, so it's just her name?
Yeah, Kurashiki.
Yeah, oh wait.
There's an H.
That's not how, yeah. And then, Jumpy Doll. And Temyoji's gonna be like, "What? How the hell did you know that?"
Sigma! Look!
So she's the one who'll show up, yeah.
Yeah.
You're...
Akane. Her name is Akane Kurashiki. I've been looking for her for a very long time.
He walked toward her. Slowly, carefully, almost as if he was afraid of scaring her away. He reached out.
She's a hologram.
Going through
Temyoji's
the chest.
Yeah. Temyoji squeezed his eyes shut.
Akane.
He closed his hand around empty air and let it fall to his side. If that hadn't been a hologram, just the other body had been a fake, whatever, this was real, however, I would imagine he'd be in trouble with where he's trying to put his hand. Like, seems a risky place to be testing for real.
Yeah, there's also not a body that he knows about, at least so far.
Oh yeah, that's true. Not in this timeline. There was a moment of sad silence, and then she began to speak.
I see you finally arrived. I've been waiting for you. Well, I suppose that's slightly inaccurate. What you see now is a holographic message I recorded before you came here. Unfortunately, this means I will not be able to answer your questions, at least not directly. I hope you will understand.
No, please explain what a videotape
Now,
is.
where to begin? You probably have a great many questions. What day is it? Where are we? Who is Zero? And what does he have to do with Akane Kurashiki? But I imagine there is one question that rises above all the others.
Yes, is there a bathing suit that fits Phi around here anywhere?
Why were we brought here? The answer to that is simple. Everything that has happened here is part of our plan. All of this was required for the success of the AB project. I assume you've heard the name by now, at least. In any event, you were all needed in order to execute our plan. The nonary game was necessary for the same reason. Your question now, I imagine, is just what is this AB project? The answer to that is also simple.
Wait, so originally the AB game was a subset of the nonary game, a mini-game within the game. But is the nonary game actually a subset of the AB project? So the AB game is a subset of the AB project.
Yeah. Which could also be a subset,
funny.
technically.
Of?
No, like, the AB game would be technically just a subset as well.
Yeah, as a subset of the subset, yeah. But this way there's layers.
Allow me to explain. We created the AB project for one purpose: to transport the consciousnesses of two people into the past. Those two people are you, Sigma, and you, Phi.
What do you mean, the past? The moment the words were out of my mouth, I realized no one there could answer the question. Not Phi, not Temioji, and certainly not a pre-recorded hologram.
Have you figured out what this room is? I assume you saw the Q on the door. It stands for quantum. That makes this the quantum room.
It took me a moment to realize she'd changed subjects without even pausing. There was nothing we could do, of course, but I still felt a twinge of frustration.
Take a look at the rear of the room. Do you see that large enclosure? That houses our quantum computer. The systems that control this entire facility run on that machine. That includes the construct you refer to as Zero Jr., as well as the golems. All of them do their thinking in that box. Isn't that strange, though? It seems contrary to how we perceive the world. The body, the thing that you see and interact with, is somewhere else. But the mind and all its thoughts are in this box.
Yes, welcome to the internet.
Perhaps it isn't so strange, though. Perhaps humans are the same, with our minds and thoughts existing separate from our bodies.
Yes, the internet.
Our core is in our head, of course. We all have individual brains, think individual thoughts, and act according to individual wills. That makes communication difficult, though. So, we're forced to rely on inefficient mediums, like language, photographs, non-verbal cues, etc., to transmit information. Each one of us is an individual, and we have no direct connection to anyone else. But, is that really true? In the dimensions we are most familiar with, yes, it is. If we look at things from another higher dimension, however, We may all be connected after all, like the branches of a tree or a rhizome. Imagine a horizontal cross-section of the root system of a large tree. All you can see are the spots where the roots intersect the plane of your cross-section. In the 2 dimensions you see, the roots all appear to be individual things with no connection to one another. But this isn't the case. If you expand your view and look at the root system in 3 dimensions instead of only 2, you see the truth.
This is the plant we had before that we had to scan in Mr. Octopus's room.
Yeah.
All the roots join together at the trunk. In 2 dimensions, they appear to be separate. But if you look at the roots from a 3rd higher dimension...
2 dimensions, 3 dimensions, 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions.
Things that might appear to be separate from one another in 3 dimensions could be connected to one another if you look at them in 4 dimensions. Doesn't that at least seem like it could be a possibility? I believe that is how human consciousness actually works. Well, I'm not the only one, I suppose. Zero and I share that belief.
Morphogenetic field theory.
Temyoji mumbled something that sounded like nonsense. I opened my mouth to ask him what it meant, but Akane was already talking again.
Now, when I talk about a 4th dimension, I'm referring to the 4th dimension used in Minkowski spacetime. Let's start with a single dimension, where all that exists is a point. Connect points to one another, and you have a line. In 1 dimension, the only surface you can create is that, a line. But move to 2 dimensions and create more lines, and you can create shapes. These are 2-dimensional surfaces. Move up to 3 dimensions, and you can connect these shapes to one another and form 3-dimensional objects. Now you have a 3-dimensional surface, which encompasses a volume of space. Connect 3-dimensional objects to one another, and you formed a 4-dimensional object, which encompasses a volume of both space and time. It is on that 4th dimensional axis that our minds are connected. If that was true, then what would prevent anyone from sending their consciousness backward or forward in time? That theory is the foundation of the AB project. The A represents after, and the B represents before. It probably sounds silly to you, a ridiculous story made up by him, but look at what's happened to you. You've seen many different worlds and timelines, haven't you, Sigma? And what about you, Phi? I know you have too. Am I wrong? Tenmyoji should know what I'm talking about as well. I believe you experienced something very similar nearly half a century ago. You sent your consciousness to the past to help save a little girl's life. It was a long time ago, but perhaps you still remember.
Yeah, of course I do. How could I forget? That little girl was you, Akane.
Suddenly, it felt like Phi and I were outsiders, trespassing on something we had no right to see. Temyoji's face was taut with emotion as he looked into Akane's eyes. It seemed almost like she was looking back at him.
Now, unfortunately, my time is up. The final stage of the project will begin very soon. I need to go prepare. The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story. So come and find me.
So she is alive.
I'll be waiting.
In this route.
One last thing. The cat in the box. Is it alive? Or is it dead? Sigma? Phi? You will decide.
Wait! Akane, wait!
Oh, Tenmyoji, I can almost see you. You don't need to worry. Everything is going to be okay. I will see you again one day. I promise.
Assuming her plan
But
works.
I'm going to have to ask you to wait just a little longer.
Wait! Akane!
So what is the Schrödinger's cat in this situation?
I'm guessing that's whether or not the world was destroyed by a Radical 6 outbreak,
I guess, but
right?
yeah, there's also another one that I was thinking of.
Another one? There's Schrödinger has multiple cats?
I guess, yeah.
Because, I mean, there could be several things, like whether or not Akane is alive or dead.
Yeah, that's the one I mean.
That's the one you mean?
Yeah.
So maybe Akane is up ahead, and then she's either alive or dead, depending on what we do. And then she was gone. Tenmyoji collapsed to his knees, his back hunched and shaking. I saw tears land on the white-knuckled fists he pressed against his thighs. I kept quiet. What was there to say? Fi and I looked at one another and nodded silently. With a shaking hand, Tenmyoji pulled a photograph out of his pocket. It was a picture of a girl. After all that we'd been through, her smile was enough to break your heart. Well, definitely Junpei. We made our way to the warehouse on floor A and met up with the others. It took only a few minutes to decide to head to the infirmary. Oh, there was nothing else beyond that door? It was just the way back?
Yeah.
Oh. As soon as we arrived, we began to treat Alice and Quark for Radical 6. I gave Luna the Accelavir that I'd found in the queue room. She quickly prepared it, and... So now that we know Dio is the traitor, can we all just ally and get out? She injected Alice and Quark.
Thank goodness. It will take some time for them to recover completely, but they should be fine. Good.
Indeed.
Thank you, Luna. And thanks for finding the medicine, you guys. Thank you so much.
Don't sweat it.
No need to thank us.
Tenmyoji said nothing, just walked over to Quark's unconscious body. He took the small boy's hand in his own and held it tight. I could see tears at the corners of his eyes as he turned away from us. Suddenly, I remembered. Dio, where had he gone? It didn't take me long to find him. He was sprawled, unconscious, on the floor beneath the sink. Handcuffs.
Oh, we found those in the crew quarters. Before you returned, we went to check on the bomb in room 2, and we found them there.
Oh, that's where they got him from.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, same.
Of course, the bomb was indeed turned off. Thank you again for dealing with them. You are, quite literally, lifesavers. You have my eternal gratitude.
I coughed awkwardly and looked pointedly around the room. I glanced over at Fi to see she was doing the same thing. What, they're just embarrassed at being complimented? After that, we headed back to the Floor A warehouse to play the AB game. Specifically, me, Fi, Kay, and Luna. Clover and Tenmyoji decided to remain in the infirmary just in case something happened with Alice, Quark, or Dio. Luna would represent Clover's team. With Quark and Dio sleeping, Kay would represent their team, by default. Which left me, Fi, and Tenmyoji. You should vote.
No, I'll let you handle it. I chose Betray in the last round. You probably don't trust me right now.
What? That doesn't matter now.
Excuse me. I apologize for interrupting, but I think you should be the one to vote in the next round fight.
Why?
You already have 9 BP. There's no reason for you to choose Betray now. You see?
Hey, you're acting like I might actually try and betray her.
Not necessarily.
What does it matter what he's suggesting? We're almost there. We just have to play the A-B game 3 more times. Then we can all get 9 points. But that means each representative has to choose ally all 3 times.
Are we gonna get a choice?
Yeah, what if you betray right now?
Yeah, so... We'll need 3 for everybody to be able to get out, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll vote. You're sure you're alright with this, Sigma?
Yeah, I trust you.
You and Tenmi have GR2 of the people with the lowest amounts, which is a bit awkward because you guys are facing each other.
I handed her the star key.
Shall we open the doors?
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain.
Oh, right. We have to wait for the deadline.
Oh, well, we could vote earlier, but then each voter would be stuck inside the AB room for 45 minutes.
Would they? I would think that you'd end the voting early if everyone's already locked in their votes.
Yeah, but not everyone's gonna lock in votes when there's only like 4 people voting.
Oh yeah, I see your point.
Okay,
3, probably.
let's go back to the infirmary then.
I agree. Please, lead the way.
Luna and Kay set off toward the yellow door. I was about to follow when...
Hold on. I just remembered something.
What?
The AB room on the left, in one of the other histories, she...
Oh, yeah. You're right. Akane's body was in there. What does this mean? Why didn't we find her body this time?
Maybe because she wasn't murdered.
But how? When did history change?
Do you remember what Akane said?
The cat in the box. Is it alive or is it dead? Sigma, Phi. You will decide its fate.
The Schrödinger's cat thing.
Exactly.
I wonder what she meant about us deciding its fate.
Perhaps she was saying her own fate wasn't decided yet.
Huh?
The history where she's alive and the history where she's murdered are both real right now.
What? No, that's impossible. We've already opened the box. We opened the door to this AB room and there was no body.
No, we haven't opened the box. We haven't found a body, but we haven't found her alive yet either. In other words, we haven't actually observed her. The hologram was a recording from before this game started.
The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story.
Because if we meet, the game will be over.
So come and find me. I'll be waiting.
Where was
Will it be
Akane
over?
now? What?
It might not be over next time you meet her, at least.
Maybe. Where was she waiting for us? Or what if she wasn't anywhere now? What if she was waiting for us in another timeline? Or what if she was waiting for us in the past? Was that even possible? If she was, what would that mean? Now I'm confused.
You'll see in a second.
We've got to go back, Phi! Oh, to be continued. A new destination has been added to the flowchart. Alright, where does the flowchart want us to go now?
Way back
I
to the
see.
beginning.
So we hit the end of that, so they've added a new bit. So this was the start that got us...
Yeah.
This was, because this is the initial escape room in the elevator, right? So
Yeah,
this is
so
where we
this
normally
is-
start. This is an alternative start.
Mhm.
Okay. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Damn it. Feels like my head's gonna explode. Oh, wait a minute. If we go back to the first AB room, but we don't have to spend an hour figuring out the puzzles because we can just enter in the code, does that mean we can just leave early? Wait. I didn't even think about that. Where the hell am I? We leave early and just get, like, Dio pouncing on us. Looks like an elevator,
No.
but...
This is one of the AB rooms.
Yeah! Who the hell are you? And what the hell's an AB room?
Damn. I guess you did lose your memory after all.
Memory? Memory. Nope, it's coming back.
Yep.
Very slowly. I remember! You're Phi! She grinned. When is this?
Check your bracelet.
It's a red hair. BP is 3.
Mine's the same.
Does this mean this is the beginning of the game? We've gone back to when we first woke up in the AB room?
No, not quite. I think we woke up a little earlier this time.
How do you know?
Push the buttons on the side of your bracelet.
2 hours, 15 minutes.
We didn't wake up this long before the primary doors opened last time. I think we're about an hour early.
Wait a minute. If you're right...
Yeah. Akane might still be alive. We got back before Dio killed her. I think.
Then...
Right. We're here for one reason.
To stop her from getting killed.
Exactly.
Let's move. We need to get out of here. Fast.
Don't need to tell me twice. Let's go.
Is it going to be Seek a Way Out? It is. Imagine if you actually solve the puzzles and dawdle that when you get out she's already dead and it's a bad end. Alright, so we need the key. You need to remember the password for the safe. We figured it out last time. Once the password has been found, it will never change. Going to past timelines won't change it. Okay.
Yeah.
I
think I actually tried to just solve the puzzles again, funnily enough.
Oh, for half a second I thought you were going to say, I think I actually remember the combination.
No.
I was going to be like, oh my god, that's incredible. You must be cheating. Sun, sun, moon.
But what if you open the bonus password?
Do you think it might actually do something?
I don't remember. I think I probably tried though. Just because I was like, oh wait.
Let's see. That would be interesting. It opens a secret 17th tab. Oh. Okay, I opened it. No! That's the wrong password! We need the other one to get the key. Oh.
Huh. Not
It was
as
worth a
interesting
shot.
as I would have hoped. Imagine if taking long enough in the escape room caused you to see her get stabbed.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. And then you'd have to, like, go back. There'd be, like, a forked ending. There, it's open. Good work. Hurry up and grab the cracker. Cracker? Ah! Damn, I meant key. How the hell? Just shut up and do it. Alright, cracker obtained. Alright, let's just put this key in here. For God's sake, just do it already! No need to yell. Alright. Good. Looks like that worked. Ready, Phi? What do you think? I know. I don't need to ask every time, right? Then why the hell are you asking? Hurry up and... Right. I'm going. 10, 9, 8, 1, done. Just the extra long countdown, just a spider. Hey! You pushed the button! Bite me! You were taking too long. We're on a schedule here. Ugh.
Phi found it.
Yeah. Now the real question here is, are we about to get bodied by Dio? Phi and I climbed up through the hatch and out onto the top of the AB room. It took us only a moment to spot them. Akane! Behind her was Dio. He was moving quickly and quietly, a knife glinting in his right hand. Shit! There was no time to yell to her. I scrambled down from the top of the AB room. Phi wasn't following me. When I looked back, she was still standing on the roof. Phi! What the hell are you doing? Get down here and... Before I could finish, she moved. Is she just gonna leap and land on Dio? She ran across the roof, launched herself into the air. Yep.
Yep. Right onto his head.
Nice. What the?
He's fine.
Are you sure?
Just unconscious.
I feel like that would do a lot of damage. I bent down and held my fingers in front of his mouth. He was still breathing.
I don't think he saw me. He probably has no idea what happened to him.
The guy went down like a sack of
He had it
potatoes.
coming.
I heard footsteps come to a stop right in front of us. I looked up.
So you came. I've been waiting for you. You're here to hear the rest, right?
Wait. Just wait a minute. What the hell is your deal? How can you be so calm? If we hadn't shown up just now, you'd...
Have been stabbed in the heart by this young man and died. Yes. Although, that reminds me, I haven't thanked you yet. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate you saving me.
What?
Hold on. How do you know about being stabbed by Dio? Are you an Esper too?
Or is she staring at his body behind you where he's holding the knife unconscious?
Yes. Indeed I am. I am able to jump through time, just like you.
Then what the hell were you thinking? If you knew he was going to stab you, why were you going to let him do it?
Because I had to.
You what?
Think back. Why are you here? If I hadn't been killed by Dio, no one else would have been murdered. Consequently, your own abilities would never have manifested. I did explain, didn't I? The purpose of the AB project was to send the two of you to the past. Or your minds, at least. In order for that to happen, some death was necessary. When a human brain is faced with danger, its processing speed increases. Information is processed more quickly, and time almost seems to slow. A few seconds. Unfortunately, that in itself isn't enough to send oneself through time. The amplitude of the consciousness is simply too small. In order to increase the amplitude, we need to slow down the brain before the increase happens. It's a little like a slingshot. You pull back on the rubber band and then let go. The potential energy you stored in the band is released and converted into kinetic energy. That's what fires the bullet out of the slingshot. Now, while a slingshot can only fire in one direction, your mind isn't similarly limited. When the bullet of your consciousness is fired from the slingshot of your brain, it travels past the three-dimensional world and into the four-dimensional one. From that perspective, time is no longer fixed. In other words, you can travel to the future, the past, whenever you like. Your consciousness has been released from the three-dimensional cage. In order for that to happen, I had to infect you with Radical 6.
Whoa, what?
We're infected with Radical 6?
Yes. Don't you remember, Sigma? Luna should have told you about it in another timeline.
Are you sure? Infecting all of these people with such a horrible disease?
Every single one of you has been infected. Well, apart from Luna, of course. Unfortunately, it was necessary. We needed to slow your minds in order to store up your potential energy. Then we provided a dire situation that would accelerate your processing speed. The result is what you are now experiencing. Your consciousness now occupies four-dimensional space-time. Even that, however, wasn't enough. You had the ability to travel, but your memories could easily be lost during the trip. If the project was to succeed, you had to be able to retain everything you learned in each reality. That was the reason you were forced to jump so many times.
Practice.
With each jump, your ability to remember improved. Eventually, you would be able to retain everything. That is why we made you play the A-B game. That was why you had to select different chromatic doors. By forcing specific choices, we could cause you to make more jumps.
So we were in training this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I think I finally understand. Well, okay, there are a lot of things I don't understand, but all of what you've just told me makes sense. You did all of this so that Phi and I could jump through four-dimensional space with our memories intact, right?
Yes.
But why did you need us to do that? People have died for this. I mean, let's count how many different ways people have died. Murder, antimatter explosion, suicide. I've died, so has Phi, so have you. There has been a lot of death, and also in this timeline, no death.
Yep.
So why would you do all of this? What does it matter that Phi and I jumped through time?
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. You were all destined to die. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
I already know all that. What I'm asking you is why? What is so goddamn important that it's worth all this?
Ah. I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
Oh, good lord. That means you're not going to tell me now.
What? Just when is eventually?
In a future not very far from now.
Bullshit! That's not good enough! Why can't you tell us now? Instead of answering, Akane knelt down next to Dio and picked up his knife up off the floor.
I'm going to keep this with me.
Don't change the subject.
But it's almost time.
What are you talking about? We've got plenty of time.
No. In a few moments, you'll return to the original timeline.
What?
This is the way it has to be.
Because it's like a slingshot that returns?
Don't fight it. Lagomorph.
Well, she just wants you to return, I think.
Lagomorph?
Oh, she's gonna say kill everybody in this facility and force us to go back?
You call him Zero Jr. His official designation is Lagomorph. Lagomorph, this is an order. Unlock my bracelet.
Compliance.
Now, everything is in place. I have put the bracelet onto Dio. All we have to do is place his body in the 5th AB room, the second one from the right.
That's the one Quark is in, right?
Correct. I will move him. I will also put your bodies back into the 3rd AB room. Once that's done, I will reset its puzzle to an unsolved state.
Why do you need to do all that?
To recreate the history that you remember. Your consciousness is about to leave your body and return to the future. Your body will be emptied, and your other consciousness will jump back in. If your bodies aren't back in the 3rd AB room by then, it would be bad.
So you're saying some version of us is going to wake up in that room and repeat the same history again? Well, I guess this could actually be our 2nd or 3rd time.
You are exactly correct. Lastly, I'm going to leave this with you.
She paused and pulled something out of her pocket. It was a small key attached to a string.
I'll tie it onto your ankle so that you won't lose it. All right, Sigma?
So we're going to return to the timeline we were just at, and then we're going to check our ankle, and there's going to be a key there that we haven't noticed the whole time.
I guess, yeah. No. I was gonna say maybe it's on your sock or something so you didn't feel it, but...
Yeah, so apparently we didn't notice that the whole time. It's just been dangling there. All those time running up and down corridors and things, with it dangling around freely, still didn't notice it.
Specifically in the Alice route, but yeah.
What's it say on there?
Tu fui ego eris.
Ah, it unlocks the grave in the garden.
It's Latin. It means, what you are, I was. What I am, you will be.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do with it?
It will help you meet someone who's very important.
0? What?
Go. Return to the future. You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you. Now hurry.
Wait, I still... God, they do this to us so many times. To be continued. So now we have to jump again.
Yeah.
I guess we just choose to comply. It didn't really look like Sigma and Phi wanted to comply at that point. Or, well, I guess Phi was starting to believe, but... It seemed like Sigma still needed some convincing.
Yeah.
But I guess he's just going to jump
over.
over.
Method of convincing that you'll see later.